Welcome to Vibrational Revelations. Today, we are revealing to you a very hot topic, another film. We just revealed Barbie film for those of you that have seen the Revelations. If you haven't, we encourage you to watch it. In today's episode, we are revealing another film that is taken the world by storm. What the agenda behind it, of course, we don't know, but we'll be sharing the numbers with you. And the name of the film is Sound of Freedom. So for those of you that are going to be watching the YouTube recording, we wanted to give you a list of what will be revealed in the private community and the things that will only be public. So those things are the Sound of Freedom film. Angel Studios is revealed in this YouTube video. And then in the membership community, we are revealing Elizabeth Smart, Jim Caviezel, who is a main actor, Lynn Packer, Mel Gibson. So we've been asked in our community to reveal people that are linked to this film somehow. We did say the movie itself, Operation Underground Railroad, which we have revealed already last year in the community. We'll bring it back in. Timothy Ballard and Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins is the producer of the film. We did reveal Tony Robbins, 3.5 years ago in the community. And we have revisited his numbers just to see where he is today. Again, we're using the vibrational frequencies of awakening scale, using scalar wave technology to test the biofield, which is a record keeper of all the information in space-time continuum. We encourage you, of course, to join the community so you can see the full episode and then also dive into our weekly discussions.
Yes, in the case of Tony Robbins, as we were going through the existent numbers, or the numbers that we read a few years ago, we were missing quite a few categories.
Yes,
so we had to update his chart.
Yes. So this is such an important topic. And last week in our community, we did talk about how important it is to begin to research them, right? The human trafficking, the child trafficking. So of course, this movie is bringing up a very important topic. And we just wanted to give you some of the statistics that is important to keep in mind. So 27% of trafficking victims are children. The majority of human trafficking victims are involved in forced labor. Labor trafficking involves the use of fraud, coercion, and force in order to get a victim to provide labor or services. More than 2/3 of trafficking victims fall into this category, including more than 10 million adults and nearly 4 million children. The International Labor Organization reports that forced labor generated $150 billion in legal profits per year. Specifically, $51.8 billion in forced labor profits come from the Asia Pacific region. Children are 4 times more likely to be trafficked for labor rather than sex. Children who are trafficked for labor purposes might be removed from their families and forced to perform domestic household services or work in factories or agriculture. Though millions of children are trafficked, there is a much larger number of children involved in child labor that is not considered trafficking. There is an estimated of 168 million child laborers around the world, with around half of them participating in what is known as hazardous work. What that endangers the child's physical, emotional, or social well-being. 66% of child trafficking victims are girls. This is one of the reports from 2020. Often girls around the world are forced to drop out of school or denied access to income-generating opportunities. The resulting social exclusion can trap girls in a cycle of extreme poverty, as well as increased vulnerability to trafficking and exploitation. This lack of education ultimately limits the lifetime earning potential for girls, thus perpetuating the cycle of poverty for their children.
Countries affected by trafficking in labor pretty much affects every country in the world, especially the Asia Pacific region, where 1 in every 250 people are victims. 7 in 10 victims of sexual exploitation in the world are trafficked in the Asia Pacific. Often traffickers will come to a village claiming to be recruiting employees for a large business or corporation. They promise job training, excellent salaries, and the ability to move into higher positions over time. The young women they lure, generally with their parents' consent, leave the village with these traffickers and will find that once they are in a big city, they are sold to a brothel or otherwise forced to engage in commercial sex work. If they resist, they risk being beaten, raped, or killed. Alone in an unfamiliar place, there is nothing they can do.
All right. So now we'll go into
very sad, really, what they
Yes.
experience.
All right. So the first revelation is going to be the film, the Sound of Freedom film. The overall vibrational frequency of the Sound of Freedom is 75. Impact on human perception is 75. Again, this is a frequency of 0 to 1,000. Integrity of the film is 89%. Integrity to others is 72%. Transparency of the film is 77%. Alignment with divine purpose is 100%. And alignment with its mission is 100%. So you can see, even though the vibrational frequency of this film is deeply saddening, it is totally aligned with divine purpose and the mission of the film, because it is bringing to the surface a very important topic that has to be addressed and has to be discussed. So therefore, it is in alignment.
It's bringing awareness, that's for sure. Right?
Big time. The next one on the list is the Angel Studios. The Angel Studios, which were the ones that brought this film to the market, right? The overall vibrational frequency is 100. 100 is the frequency of worry and fear. Impact on human perception is 55. So oftentimes we talk about this 55 frequency. 55 is the disassociation, but in many cases, in lower vibrations, it is a frequency, in this case, of manipulation. It's meant to manipulate our perception, or whatever. This Angel Studios. Integrity of the Angel Studios is 62%. Integrity to others is 59%, so quite low. Transparency of the Angel Studios is 65%. Alignment with divine purpose is 84%. So again, they're out of alignment. I don't know much actually about the Angel Studios. Alignment with its mission, with the mission of the Angel Studios, is 100%.